We already messed up big time.
Welcome to the 1989-1990 GHS Faculty Varsity Golf Tournament. October 11th, 1989, Lakewood Golf Course, Georgetown, Ohio.
Welcome to the 1989-1990 Georgetown High School Faculty Varsity Golf Championship. Today's match promises to be a very exciting event. It looks as though the faculty team is going to be very strong this year, but the varsity is probably the strongest it's been in several years. I'm going to take you on a short tour of the holes that we will be filming today. There are 4 of them. We're going to tee off on the 10th hole at Lakewood. It's a par 4 hole, 325 yards long, and should serve as a real challenge in our scramble match. The tee is located approximately 190 yards from the crest of a hill that plunges down. If a golfer successfully negotiates his drive, he should be able to land somewhere out here in the 220 to 230 yard area. If, however, the ball strays to the right, well, he's in a thicket of trees from which there is no chance of escape. If he slices his ball past the trees and it goes to the right of the bridge, approximately 200 yards off the tee, the player encounters a fierce lateral water hazard running parallel to the fairway all the way down. There's no chance of any relief in here. Nothing but snakes and gophers dare tread there. To the left side of the fairway, we also have some trees. A badly hooked drive can land up behind the trees up on the side of the hill, effectively blocking out the second shot to a rather large green. But let's say that our golfers hit a good tee shot out into the center of the fairway. From here, they're confronted with a fairly routine 9-iron or wedge shot to the green. The biggest danger, however, is going over the green. If you go over the green, you're left with a just about impossible to get close shot back to the pin because the green slopes from back to front. And there we have our first challenge for our golfers today, the 10th hole at Lakewood. The second hole that we'll be taping today is the 13th hole out at Lakewood. And we have the honor of having our senior captain this year, Mr. Jamie Johnson, ace flogger, who'll be describing the hole for us. Jamie, good luck this afternoon.
Hole number 13 at Lakewood is par 5, 467 yards long with many hazards on it. Tee off area will be right here, and there's a pond to the right of the fairway, which is about 110 yards off the tee. So if you duff the shot to the right, you'll go in the pond. To the left is a fence. It's an out of bounds. It goes from the tee off all the way to the end of the hole. Most drives, if they are good, will reach about right into this area, which is about 100 to 110 yards away from the pond. 150-yard mark's right here. Anywhere out to the right past here is rough, but you can hit from and you'll be all right. Okay, if a good second shot reaches right up here around the 150-yard mark, then you got this pond reaches to the green 110 yards. It's 110 yards long. And to the right it goes right here. If you have a good enough and long enough drive, you can hit your second shot to a little landing area right beside the pond and in between some trees. So it takes a very accurate shot to get in here. To the left of this pond is trees and a little hill that goes down like a gully. To the back, it goes up to a fence which is out of bounds, and to trees to the left and to the right. With a good second shot up near the pond, it's about a 9-iron to an 8-iron to the green. The green slopes from back to front, and it has hills on both sides. It slopes down from the sides. From if you make it to the landing, it's only a wedge shot about 80 to 70 yards to the green. So if you have a good second shot, it's easier to go for the landing. If you hit a ball in, your first ball in, you hit your third shot from right here. And then if you hit another one in, you get to go across the pond and chip from right here.
The third hole that we'll be showing you today on our videotape is the 17th hole out at Lakewood. It's par 3 hole, as you can see, and we're going to let a rather unique individual describe the hole for us. Mark Anderson, the only player in the history of Georgetown to get a hole-in-one. Wasn't on this hole, but appropriately enough, I think Mark should have the honor of describing a par 3.
Okay, number 17 is a par 3. It's 140 yards. And much like my hole-in-one, this is the second par 3 of the 9. So if this is kind of the hole I made it on. You tee off here, and then the women's tee's about here, but for us, you tee off here, and then you hit your drive. If you hit it left, you're in the water. It's a bad shot. If you go in the water, you go back to the tee and re-hit until you get it out of the water. Now, if you hit your tee shot to the right, however, it's no penalty, but there's high rough over to the right. And if you hit your tee shot over the green, there's a road about 20 yards past the green. That's out of bounds, which would mean you have to re-tee. But if you hit it on or hit it short, it's a good shot. Now the green slopes from the back to the front, and it slopes so the ball will go from your right to your left. So you actually should aim the ball a couple inches to the right when you're putting, and then that'll be a good putt. Now this green is sometimes fast and sometimes slow. It's usually in between, however, so it's kind of medium. But this is about the second easiest hole on the course.
We're honored today to have with us a member of the faculty floggers, a golfer extraordinaire, Mr. Tim Hudson. Tim has played for us in the past and has always done quite well. In fact, last year's victory can be directly attributed to Tim's sterling play, both from the fairway as well as on the green. Mr. Hudson, nice having you with us today. He'll be describing the 18th hole for us, probably the hole where the match will be decided.
Thank you. My thoughts exactly, Mr. Anderson. The 18th hole is just a straightaway par 4, 350-yard finishing hole. Goes from a direction you're traveling east in this direction, and depending on the wind, and I assume today it'll be at our backs, this will be in a type of a hole where I anticipate the players can try to be very aggressive off the tee. Some will use a 3-inch wood, some will use the driver. I anticipate most of the drives, should they hit them well, to be somewhere within anywhere from 120 yards to possibly 150 yards out from the green. So players will probably be hitting 7 or 9 irons into this green. The danger areas on this green is to hit, as it is on most of the holes on this course, to hit past the hole over on the back side of the green. From this position, it'll be a difficult chip for the players to get down into. So obviously, most of the players will be trying to hit in front of the pin to have a nice, slow uphill putt to the hole. The green does slope from back to the front, so most of the players will be aiming towards the front of the green. The danger areas that a player could run into is by missing the fairway. Should a team miss the fairway, they'll have a difficult time getting close to the pin. And as Mr. Anderson said, I believe that this hole on the 18th hole should decide the championship of today's round. It's a great finishing hole, one of the great finishing holes you'll see in all of Brown County. And I believe that this hole here, the gallery should get its money's worth today.
The 4 finishing holes that we will be filming today in this epic golf struggle. We're all looking forward to it, and I want to thank each of the people who described these holes for us. Gentlemen, we're going to play the game fairly, squarely, as sportsmen, and when it's all finished, the faculty will have, once again, flogged the varsity. Good. Time's finally arrived. The talking's finished and now the flogging begins. We've got 3 teams out here today, 2 varsity teams and 1 faculty team. The 2 varsity teams think they can both beat the faculty. The faculty knows it can beat both the varsity teams. Before we get started out here on the 10th hole at Lakewood, we're going to introduce our teams. Starting for the varsity over here on the first team, we've got senior captain Jamie Johnson. Jamie, come on out here. Jamie, say something into the camera about our chances.
The chances are you guys got 6 people, right?
Yeah.
That means that we get 2 extra putts per group.
Well, no, something like that.
Okay, then I believe we have a chance to putt against them and beat them.
All right. Introduce the rest of the guys on your first team for us.
All right, we
Nice
got
and loud.
sophomore Derek Jemison. Sophomore Blaze Tomlin. And bring up the rear, sophomore Brian Wynn.
Okay, there you've got the foursome of Johnson, Jemison, Tomlin, and Went. They think they can do it, but it's only self-deceit. Thank you, guys.
We got to do our exercise.
Second group off for the varsity team. Start with junior Mark Anderson. Mark, come on out here. Mark, take a look at your squad of 3 over there. What chances do you give these guys of beating the faculty?
Well, let me put it this way. Is it raining today? No, the faculty will not win. Mark my words.
Now, there's a
Today.
man of confidence. It's too bad it's shattered dreams. Mark,
October 11th, 1989, it ends. It's over.
hey, Mark, introduce the guys on your team. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, here's our freshman, John Reed. Sophomore, Jason Gloyd. And sophomore, Kenny Jennings.
Okay, guys, good luck. You don't have a chance, but have fun. And now we get down to the class act out here today. It's the faculty. And our faculty captain for the year is none other than the Honorable Tim Hudson. Let's hear it for Mr. Hudson. Mr. Hudson, give us an appraisal of your squad this year, will you?
We're a squad of unpracticed veterans. Key to our win, I believe, today is going to be composure and television experience. One thing that these freshman and sophomore dominated squad doesn't have is television experience, and I believe we begin to choke as the match goes on.
Okay, so it's the old gag rule today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Hudson, please introduce the faculty floggers.
Well, starting off, we have the doctor of smash, Dan Wilson. We have Tony the Banger Beecraft.
Bang, 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 bang.
Mr. Eric Croft, who has never shot around under par. Over par, I should say. Excuse me, over par. And the newest member of our squad this year, Tim Chadwell.
Okay, looks like we're ready to roll then. We're going to start with the varsity going off first. Gentlemen, bad luck. You have to ask the team captain, huh?
I did.
We've got the Iceman here now, Eric Croft, about to tee off. That's the Georgetown varsity faculty game. You got a slice into the woods. A slice into the woods. That's okay. Good effort. Good effort. The faculty captain, Mr. Tim Hudson, teeing off.
That's well I
Straight.
in the creek.
Down the woods, yeah.
I love them in the creek.
At the end, it sliced off to the right.
That's in the creek.
There's a good effort. Good effort. We have Dan the Man Wilson for Georgetown faculty. Let's go. Good hook.
Stand right over by the microphone. We don't need you on that. Not hit yet. Back. Right.
Now we have the calm but cocky Mr. Tim Chadwell. Teeing off for faculty. We have a power smash.
Oh, Mr.
That's
Chadwell,
nice.
that was excellent.
That was
Excellent
beautiful.
Shot.
Right down the fairway.
Yes, sir. Mr. Beecraft has a shot yet? Oh, Mr. Beecraft. I'm sorry, Mr. Beecraft. Your tee, sir.
The banger's up now. Mr. Tony Beecraft. Bit low.
Oh, we'll play that ball on the 11th hole.
That's all.
We'll play that on the next hole.
The banger's ball slice hooked.
And now it's Captain Flog.
We now have Captain Flog teeing off for the Georgetown faculty. We'll see if his game has varied any since last year.
Oh, yeah.
Sliced a little,
We got one in play.
but it's not going to go out into the woods. So it's in play. Jenny, the madman, we call him Chunkster. What's his last name? Jennings? Yeah, Jennings. Teeing off for Georgetown varsity reserve team.
Yeah, yeah.
And he sliced it just a little into the woods.
Clarence.
might still went over the creek.
Clarence said that he slugged.
Didn't he?
Yeah, but didn't slice. I just did that. Went over the creek. Okay.
Here's the lady killer himself, Jason Glory. Teeing off.
It's out of here. Get in the cup. Get in the cup.
Here's the freshman.
Pause 1 second. I want to get a person's opinion of that shot. Could you describe that shot to me, please, John?
It stunk.
In the cup. In the cup.
As you can tell, our announcer is slightly amused by that shot.
You missed.
You're supposed to hit the ball, John.
Now we have a Janie freshman, John Reed.
Jeez!
Beautiful shot. Beautiful. As you can tell from the cries of approval from his fellow teammates, it was a beautiful shot.
What about mine?
We now have Mark Anderson, womanizer, golf man, and track runner, all in one.
What more could Georgetown Junior Senior High School ask for?
Hey, don't forget he hit Blaze Tallman in the middle of the eye.
Mark, before you shoot, Mark, can I have your opinion of what's going to happen in this?
The tournament?
Yes.
Well, of course, we're going to win. Oh,
Hey, wait, put the film, put the camera over there. Camera right. There's the ball, 50 yards ahead, folks. Where you go? Beautiful, Mark.
Really, I'm the best golfer out here. Just had a bad shot.
Mark didn't have a very good first shot. Didn't go very far, did it?
Teeing off for the varsity golf team.
Nice stroke, Blaze. Good shot. That's the way to hit it. Get the next shot, Blaze. Nice shot, Blaze.
Now we have
Jamie Johnson, varsity captain for Georgetown Flog. Teeing off. Come on, Jamie. Show us why you earned the title to be captain.
That's the best shot I've ever seen.
It's sliced.
Depends on where it landed.
Got the madman Brian went. He's my biology buddy. Teeing off for the varsity team.
Hook, babe.
Hit hook. So that's it for now. We're gonna meet you at the next hole. Let's go, Buck.
There you see the power.
Anderson's about to putt for the varsity squad here. Birdie putt's on its way, and it is, oh, it rims out on the bottom of the hole. What a great try. What a try.
Now we have Jamie Johnson chipping on hole 10. It took two strokes to get down here. He's going to chip it onto the green now.
Maybe not.
Good try.
What did you say, make me chill?
Getting ready to chip.
Only one, Buck.
Oh,
Sit. Get in the hole. Get in. Oh! So close. He almost had a hole in one.
Blaze Tomlin preparing for a putt.
This is for par now.
let's go to the next hole. Goodbye. Nice putt.
You ready? Yeah. Derek Jemison teeing off on hole 11.
Yeah. Now there's going to be... Wait until Mr. Wilson's putt stops, then get a picture of his reaction, then stop it until the next guy comes.
Okay.
Twelfth hole, Dan Wilson putting for the birdie. It's a good stroke.
Come on. Come on.
Tim Hudson now putting for the faculty. Birdie on 12.
Get in there. Get in there. Get in there.
So close.
Nice.
So close.
Mr. Hudson. Pulling your weight.
You can't get much closer than that.
Mr. Beecraft with this about 25 to 30 foot putt. And it looks like it's going to be short. CJ, if we take a look back down the fairway, we can see where the varsity B squad has hit their tee shot. Their second shots will be coming in from the right side of the fairway, apparently. And now we're back to Mr. Chadwell.
Hard hit off this tee, isn't it?
How good is a business teacher at golf? We will find out.
Ooh, this putt looks like a winner. And it... Oh!
We were wrong! We were wrong!
How many points I get for that?
Oh!
Let go of them. Oh! Too good a putt. We'll mark your bowling.
And chatty. That's bad.
Mr. Croft is up to putt now.
Ball bounce.
Nice shot, dude.
It's the big man,
Now it's Captain
Preparing.
Flog.
the flogger
Casted himself.
Straight.
What'd you do? Been going straight.
Pretty straight.
Straight? Yeah.
Straight up.
Don't break it off. Dan played to the
Come on,
right.
Captain Dockett.
Shadows are deceptive.
It looks like
Come
it's
on,
a nice
come on.
shot.
Oh.
Just a little short.
Put it in there, Mr. Croft.
Add the line.
Sure, Mr. Croft.
Will he make it?
Glory.
You're right.
Take all the glory. Our finisher. Oh.
Congratulations on your hole in 50.
Well, CJ, here's a little update, and Buckley, a little bit of an update. The faculty's completed 3 holes of golf. We are 1 under par, going birdie, par, par. The varsity B team is hitting their second shots in here. They are at least 1 over with a bogey on 10. We don't know how they did on 11. The varsity A team completed the first hole in even par. So as we know right now, the faculty's 1 under. Varsity A is even, varsity B is 1 over, and we're off to the 14th tee.
Thank you.
13th tee.
You want us to get these boys hitting in? Mark, would you like to come give us a play-by-play of that shot?
Well, you see, it was 155 yards out, and the wind's behind me, and I normally hit my 5-iron on about 150 yards. So I figured since the wind was behind me, I could hit it a little further with the wind. So I pulled out my 5-iron, and I swung, and the rest is history.
First putter on number 12 hole is Kenny the Chunk Jennings. Mark set him up for this beautiful putt. Let's see if they can put it in. They'll be well under par on this hole, I believe. like it's a little bit short. Really show them how it's done. Oh, that's beautiful. You can tell how close it is to the hole. And that was done by freshman J.R. Reed. And I believe he can read, folks. That's just a myth. And now it's up to Old Faithful Mark Anderson.
Mark comes back.
Mark's is just going to be shy of the hole. One last time, Jason Gloyd. Let's see how close that is to the hole, really. Jason is quite an extraordinary putter. He's given me a few lessons myself. I'm impressed with the young man's talent, really.
Get in the hole.
I believe that's why we call him Mark Anderson, the Madman.
Baby, birdie.
Baby! Mark!
We've got a birdie on the 12th hole.
Mark Anderson, can we have one of your...
Mark Anderson sets the putt
We
up
like this on tape.
and then finishes the play.
It's over.
Mark Anderson sets the play up and then finishes it like the true trooper he is.
Par 5, where you've got some options. The faculty did not attempt to go to the green. Rather, we laid up on the landing, and you see Tony Beecraft hitting our third shot. And it's a, oh my, the ball hit and rolled back down into the pond. Good effort, though, by Mr. Beecraft. As we look down this hole, you can see far down the fairway. You can't see the next group teeing off yet, but if they hit a good tee shot, they'll be some 220 yards from the green. What that means is they can do three possible things. They can either lay up short of the pond and have about a 120-yard shot over the pond, or they can lay up out on the landing where you see the faculty is, or they can go for the green. What the faculty tried to do was lay up first short of the pond, and then we had two players swing for the green, both missed on their second shots, and then we had our last player hit for the landing, and here comes an absolutely lovely looking shot, a little long, just off the back edge by Coach Chadwell.
3 points I get for that. Going way over there.
Mr. Hudson's about to hit. Faculty has approximately a 75 to 80 yard chip shot. The advantage of the landing is you reduce the distance across the pond tremendously. But it's a scary second shot to get to that landing. A little hook on the second ball, you're in the water. A little push, you're up in the trees on the left. But the faculty managed to hit a good second shot out there. Let's see if they can take advantage of that and get it close for birdie. CJ, turn the commentary over to you, okay?
Okay. Who's up now? Mr. Tim Hudson? I believe so. We see a little last second advice from Mr. Croft, that all pro golfing star. He just finished his summer tour while school was out during the summer. That's why he calls it his summer tour. It's where he goes around the various golfing organizations and shows them a few of the old man's tricks, I should say. You weren't here last year for last year's golfing
And
against faculty and student, against faculty and varsity team. Were you, Buck? You missed quite an exciting tournament. Very, very, very exciting. Well, here it comes. Oh, it's going to drop short right in the middle of the pond. You can tell he's really depressed about that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's time for the pro to get up.
Last year, I like to state last year that Mr. Croft had a surprising putt.
Yeah.
Yours went, Mr. Bucraft, I believe yours bounced on the bank and then went back in the small of the pond on the very edge. Now we have Mr. Wilson, Dan the Man Wilson.
Also, our favorite geometry teacher.
Up for his attempt on getting it on the green. So far they've got one fairly close ball. It's a bit to the back side of the. Where is that ball?
It's in between the pond and the green. And he's judging how.
Here it comes.
He
I don't
shoots
think it's going to make it. It doesn't have the distance. It just blooped into the end of the edge of the water. Unfortunate. And now we have Mr. Eric Croft. I think he's going to show us, just give us a little something to tell our grandchildren about. He's sizing it up, making his decision.
He's gonna show us how it's done. Look at that.
It looks like it's going to make it. It was on the green for a second, but it's come to the far like Mr. Chadwell's.
Both balls are in this area, as you can tell.
Now it's Captain Flog's turn up to the plate.
Can the man?
Just a little baseball pun.
Can the man who put them there put them over here?
As you already know, his son already brought the varsity second team, brought the second part of the varsity team onto the 12th green, and then Mark Anderson finished it off by making the putt for an eagle. Let's see if Mr. Anderson has what it takes, like his son.
Nice
Oh.
shot.
Oh! Very nice.
Very.
He's put them on the green. They're in good position. It's going to roll back down, give him a little distance back the other way towards the hole. But you must realize, folks, this is the hardest part of Lakewood. As Mr. Anderson said before, this is what makes Lakewood what it is.
The 13th green in regulation 3 shots. We've left ourselves about a 20-foot putt for a birdie. So let's see if we can take advantage of this opportunity. Buckley, this about 20-foot putt will break sharply to the left. I believe the faculty's probably going to have to play. Mr. Hudson, what would you say? About a 2-foot break there, Mr. Hudson?
Yeah.
About a 2-foot break left to right. This is for the birdie. Ah, drifted way off. Maybe we got to play a little bit more break than that, fellas.
Now, Mr. Business struts his stuff.
Tim Chadwell's lining it up. Sure, consider Mr. Hudson's break a little far to the side. Not quite there. A lot of break on that hole. Awful lot of break.
I believe Mr.
See
Industrial
how
and
Mr.
himself.
Beecraft can do if he can find the ball marker.
You know how his eyesight is. He's getting old.
It's all that sawdust in the air.
Must be clouding his cornea, I believe.
Yes.
He misses.
Whoa, boy.
Nice shot.
Nice shot.
There's a lot more bank than we thought on this. But there's a lot more.
Here, take a look at this one.
The geometry man judges the distance.
But will his calculations be correct?
Find out soon.
B equal H. Be in the hole.
Proof number 75. Mr. Wilson can play golf. If Mr. Wilson shoots the ball and it goes in the hole, then he shot a good shot.
Huh. Maybe Mr. Croft can pull another one out like he did last year. Show us a little bit of that magic.
There's the hole.
I got it.
Come on, ball. Blow on it. You're in his back door.
Good thought. Good thought. The man that got him here.
Will
Let's see if
Mr.
he can finish it.
Will Mr. Anderson pull him through again?
His son's already showed his ability to do this. But does Mr. Anderson have what it takes?
Count it. Let's go. Next hole.
Mr. Chadwell.
Mr. Anderson!
What a shot!
Mr. Anderson, will you tell us about that hole, play-by-play?
Buckley, that was a pretty exciting hole for the faculty. Actually, we played it pretty well, hitting a good drive, good second shot to the landing, a reasonably good third shot here. My teammate showed me the line. I never could have done it if they hadn't been there putting first, Buck. 2 under.
Sounds like a lot of what his son said.
I think he's going for a fish.